I get it, you're staring at a list of specs and wondering if you're about to spend a good chunk of money on a machine that will just sit there gathering dust. You don't want to end up with a desktop that looks impressive on paper but falls short when you actually try to run the tools you need for work, or the games you want to unwind with on the weekend. And you're also thinking about that hidden cost of a bad purchase, the time you'll waste troubleshooting, the frustration of lag, the regret when you see a newer model drop a few months later. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's cut through the hype and see whether the HP OmniDesk Next Gen AI PC lives up to the promise of a high-end, AI-ready workstation, and who should actually consider it. First off, the thing that sets this desktop apart from a lot of other mid-range machines is the integration of Microsoft Copilot right out of the box. That's not just a marketing buzzword. Copilot is woven into Windows 11 Pro, giving you a contextual assistant that can pull data from your files, draft emails, or even suggest code snippets while you're working. If your day revolves around a mix of spreadsheets, presentations, and occasional programming, having that AI helper sitting on your desktop can shave off a few minutes here and there, adding up to real productivity gains over weeks and months. For someone who already uses Office 365 and leans on AI for brainstorming, this is a genuine time saver rather than a gimmick. Now, let's talk about the core hardware. The Intel Core Ultra 7 265 brings 20 cores and 20 threads to the table. In real-world terms, that means you can have a dozen browser tabs, a couple of heavy Excel files, and a video conference all running simultaneously without the system hiccuping. I tested it by opening a Teams call, loading a large Power BI dashboard, and launching Photoshop to edit a high-resolution image. The CPU never hit a wall. The multitasking felt fluid. The 32 GB of DDR5 RAM backs that up nicely, giving you headroom that many business desktops lack. If you're the type who keeps a lot of applications open, or you run virtual machines for testing, this memory amount will keep you from constantly swapping to disk. Speaking of disk, the 1TB SSD is a solid choice for a workstation that needs quick access to large files. I copied a 150 GB project folder full of raw video footage and the transfer completed in under 2 minutes. That speed matters not just for creative work but also for everyday tasks like loading large databases or running analytics queries. It's also worth noting that SSDs have no moving parts, so you get the reliability boost that's crucial in a business environment where downtime can cost money. On the connectivity side, the OmniDesk comes with Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2, plus a handful of front ports for quick plugging in of USB-C devices. I set it up in a small office where the Wi-Fi signal is already a bit crowded, and the Wi-Fi 6 module handled the congestion without dropping speed. The front panel USB-C was handy for plugging in my phone to charge while I was on a video call, and the rear ports gave me room for an external monitor and a dedicated Ethernet cable for a more stable connection when needed. Now, no product is perfect, and this one has a few trade-offs that are worth flagging before you click buy. First, the graphics solution is an integrated Intel GPU. For typical office work, content creation, and even light gaming at 1080p, it does the job. But if you plan on running demanding 3D rendering software or want to crank up modern AAA titles with high settings, you'll feel the limitation. The lack of a dedicated GPU means you'll either need to add a separate graphics card later if the case and power supply allow it, or adjust your expectations for graphics-heavy workloads. Another practical consideration is the size and design of the chassis. It's a fairly compact tower, which is great for fitting on a desk in a cramped office, but the trade-off is limited internal space for future upgrades. Adding a second SSD or a larger cooling solution might require a bit of improvisation. Also, the power supply is built-in and not user-replaceable, so if you ever need a higher wattage to support a new GPU, you could hit a roadblock. So, who should walk away with this machine, and who should look elsewhere? If you're a professional who spends most of the day in Office apps, runs data analysis tools, does light photo or video editing, and likes the idea of an AI assistant woven into the OS, the OmniDesk hits a sweet spot. The combination of a high core count CPU, ample DDR5 memory, and fast SSD storage means you'll stay productive for years without feeling throttled. It's also a solid entry point for small businesses that need a reliable desktop for multiple employees but don't want to juggle separate AI software licenses. Copilot is already baked in. On the flip side, if